Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name's David Austin, and sitting across from me is the prettiest thing I've ever looked at, and that's my beautiful bride, Londa Joanne Sherwood Austin. I'm excited to be here with you today, sweetheart.
Good day to you, sir. I don't know what I'm saying.
That was very formal.
I don't know.
Hello, Governor. That was my Tiny Tim impression. How was it?
Okay, I was okay. It was okay.
The Session with Londa and David is a business program, and it's brought to you each and every week by Sherwood Austin Solutions. With over 40 years of combined sales success, Sherwood Austin Solutions can help diagnose and prescribe solutions for any problems in your business. Whether you have a restaurant or a bar, you run sales teams, or you're a salesperson looking to up your goals, Sherwood Austin Solutions can help and make you accountable. Call today, 509-491-2663. The number again for Londa at Sherwood Austin Solutions is 509-491-2663. It's a great time to be in business. Why not be in business with us?
You can email me, and that might work better too. I don't know.
Sure.
You know, there's just to give multiple. You could text that number, or you can email Londa at SherwoodAustin.com. Easy.
That's Londa at SherwoodAustin.com. That's great.
Yeah.
And the reason you have to say that is because you're a perfect person. I'm jumping ahead in the show.
Well, that's interesting. Here's actually why I say that. I don't think that people really remember phone numbers anymore. And I think that giving a phone number is, I don't know. If you've already got me in your contacts, you probably, but if you don't,
right.
Londa at SherwoodAustin.com. Easy to remember, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
There you go.
And I may or may not answer the phone.
And I bet if you Google Londa Sherwood Austin, you'll come up.
Oh, you're going to find all kinds of fun information.
Okay. I didn't mean to jump ahead and talk about the running topic of the show.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
But I love it because you have been teaching and studying personality profiles and the personality types for over 20 years.
Yeah, and I want to be really clear about this. It's not the in-depth 16 or 24 different personalities. One of the things I like to do is to keep things really, really simple.
Right.
Really simple. I think that a lot of things in business can get very convoluted.
Yes.
And you've got to simplify. And,
Okay.
I've been to a lot of different business training and sales training over the years. And in the beginning, I used to try to, take every note, get everything, and then you come home and you're just overwhelmed. And over the years, I've learned, man, if I find 1 to maybe 3 points or tips or things that I can implement straight away, that's what I'm really looking for. So and it's just it's part of my personality to take something that is overwhelming and complicated and simplify it.
Yep.
So we're talking a little bit about personalities today, and you'll learn a lot of information about yourself, greater understanding about yourself, greater understanding about the people that you live, work, and play with. But also, we're going to talk specifically a little bit about gift giving because we are recording this in the month of December.
Right.
And gift giving can be really challenging for people.
Sure.
I had a conversation recently with someone who wanted to buy a gift for their boss.
Right.
And I started asking questions like, what is your boss's dominant personality trait and secondary personality trait? And, what do they like to spend time doing? And how, it all matters. Right. So we may get pretty in depth into it, but here's the thing I want you to remember. If you don't remember anything else, are you ready?
Yes.
There are 4 basic personality types.
Okay.
And the easiest way to remember them is they're the 4 Ps.
Okay.
Power.
Yes.
Party. Peace. Perfect.
And I called you a perfect person at the beginning because you wanted to make a correction right away.
Oh, that wasn't a correction. I was adding information.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it as a correction
No,
at all.
that's
But
not.
that does give us a hint about your personality.
No. What I'm saying
it for
is
sure
the
does.
copy, which is 4 months old, hasn't changed. But today you found it necessary to add to it, hey, email me. You
Yeah.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's perfectly fine. You like it to be perfect. You're one of the perfect people.
Well, it isn't my dominant trait.
But it's one of your traits.
But it is. Now,
Yeah.
it's important to remember. Okay, so I want to give you the information that I don't want you to forget, and then we can get a little bit more into it. So,
Okay.
4 basic personality styles.
Okay.
Power, party, peace, perfect. We all have all 4.
I gotcha.
Okay. And people are far too complicated to pigeonhole them into a personality type. So just remember that, right?
Sure.
Then the next thing you have to remember is power and party people are fast paced.
Right.
Peace and perfect people are slow paced. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that. Party and peace people are people oriented. Power and perfect people, task oriented.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Yes.
And when we drop this podcast, I'll try to add a graphic, but really it's super easy. If you're watching the video, there you go. I mean, it's not complicated, right? If you can remember that alone is going to help you a lot.
I gotcha.
A lot in your relationships, but also in your gift giving.
Sure.
Right? So, for example, if I'm a peace personality and you give me a gift that is some kind of, let's say it's an experience.
Yes.
And it's, we're going to go to the race car track and we get to race cars today.
Okay.
No, that does not work. Generally speaking, that's not going to work for
It would work great for a power person.
or a party person.
Yep. That's right. But somebody who's peace oriented, what would be a better gift?
So their motivation is security, right?
Right.
And their greatest fear is that loss of security. And so putting them into a race car and doing laps around the racetrack is
A detractor.
No way, man. That is way outside the lines. No, thank you.
But maybe a Ring doorbell would be a great gift for somebody like that.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Maybe. So yeah, so there's a lot of possibilities, but let me just give a brief overview of each personality style
Okay,
so people
sure.
get a better idea. A power person is exactly what you think. I'm giving away they wear a lot of black.
Okay. Okay.
Black is probably the number 1 color in their wardrobe.
Okay.
Which is interesting. They like the finer things in life, power personalities. They typically, and this is why you can't pigeonhole, they typically wear high-end brands. They like high-end items, cars, food, furniture. I mean, they're going to have, they like the finer things in life. They probably would rather go to a resort than go camping.
I gotcha.
Right?
Yes.
So when there's a telltale question or comment that you can make that will tell people about their personality. And
Okay.
it's this: when you meet somebody new, if you're trying to learn about them quickly, build rapport really quickly, the thing that you say to them is, "Tell me about yourself."
Right.
And a power person will typically give you their resume. They'll tell you about all their accomplishments.
Okay.
So they're fast paced, right? As I said, and task oriented. So they walk quickly. They're always in a hurry because they're always very focused.
Okay.
So, there's some crossovers, of course.
Sure.
Let's say that you have a lot of power traits, but you also have a lot of party traits, and you can't decide which is your dominant. Well, there's some ways you can figure it out. For example, if you're crossing a room to go get a cup of coffee, let's say you're in a networking event of some kind, and you're crossing the room to get a cup of coffee, and somebody says, "Hey, David, come here." If you go right to them, you're more dominant as party. If you say, oh yeah, let me grab my coffee and then I'll come right over, you're more dominant as power.
Interesting.
If you're trying to decide between the two, because you've got to complete the task.
And it might
before
take me,
you go to the
yep,
person.
And you just told me a lot about myself, because it might take me 40 minutes to get across the room to get that coffee. If I set off to get coffee and somebody looks at me, that's my priority right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I have to complete the task.
Yeah.
Okay, so party person is just what you think. They're the life of the party. They're the good time Charlie. They oftentimes, the way that they present themselves, they oftentimes are dressed very outgoing, in an outgoing way. They like patterns and colors and, jewelry, and they're flashy.
Flamboyant shirts with different cuffs and collars than the rest of the shirt.
Maybe. They're kind of flashy. They're more flashy, right?
Yes.
And they don't just bring the life of the party. They literally embody life of the party.
Sure.
Right? So they're fast-paced and people-oriented. Okay. A peace personality, you can most quickly recognize them based on the way they present themselves because they're a more natural look.
Okay.
Right? Peace personalities like natural fibers because they tend to be more sensitive about the way that clothes feel on their body. They kind of want everything in life to be a little softer.
So Ada is our peace girl.
Yeah, she definitely is. Yeah. And so, they like things to be more natural.
I gotcha.
You're not going to see a lot of big flamboyant or showiness or anything like that from a peace personality. And they often work in service industries. There's a lot of teachers and nurses and, they love volunteering.
Sure.
They just love to give. So they're people focused and slower paced.
I gotcha.
Okay. Then you've got your perfect personality. And these are your people who get really excited about charts and graphs, and they're motivated by facts and figures, and they're deathly afraid of being wrong about anything. If they haven't done the data, if they haven't researched, then they're probably not going to answer if you ask them a question,
Yeah.
Consumer Reports was written for these people.
Mm-hmm.
They're very, very practical.
I gotcha.
Very practical, usually very thrifty. And, they work in industries like, this is very we're being playfully stereotypical here today. Engineers, accountants, that kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
They can, again, these are generalities, and the perfect person is task focused.
Right.
And slow paced.
I gotcha. I would say, thinking about accountants and engineers, our accountant is a perfect peace person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And so everyone has a dominant personality trait. They have a secondary personality trait. And we are all four things. And, over your lifetime, you're kind of working to come into more balance.
Sure.
You kind of soften the edges of your dominant personality. You kind of reach to the depths of your least dominant, and kind of try to pull it up. I remember when I first learned about this, 15 or 20 years ago, and started studying it and then started training on it. Mm-hmm. I remember that my peace part of my personality was just in the toilet. I mean, I had very little compassion for others. I was all power.
Right.
And then depending on the situation, I would bounce between party or perfect.
I think you're all about power and perfect. I think you are one of the people who is uncomfortable getting things wrong, and you take a lot of time making sure things are all correct, and you need to get things done. So you're a power person because you want to get things done and you're task oriented, but you, on the other hand, want it to be perfect, and you enjoy charts and graphs and statistics that can make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's a good...
And your personality changes over time, right?
Sure.
Too. And different situations, different circumstances draw out different parts of your personality. Sure. Friday night, you saw a lot of the power party.
Well, that's true, but I also believe, unlike me with the party thing, I literally just want to have fun. And I remember, hey, David, make sure you remember to talk about who you are and what you do, because that's what you're all about, who you are and what you do. But I'm here to have fun and go, woohoo!
Right.
You are having fun as part of your power. I will make sure people know who I am and what I do. So your dominant thought is, let's make sure we communicate with every person here so they can know who we are and what we do. So you're at work in a party situation.
For sure.
I'm just partying and having fun, and I get power from that. So the difference I find in just our personalities is when you're at one of those kind of functions, you're working, so it drains you. And when I'm at one of those functions, I'm partying like a rock star, and I walk away feeling, wide awake and excited and energized.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and I'm like a wind-up toy. As soon as we get in the car,
that's
I'm
right.
like, yeah.
That's exactly right. So I do think you're good at being a party person. I think it's work for you, though.
Well, here's what's interesting about that. So life teaches you some things, right? So as a child, I was all power party.
Sure.
And it got me into a lot of trouble.
Tell me more about that. Like what? Like what kind of trouble?
Okay, well, so I was raised by people who didn't like the party part of my personality.
I gotcha.
Why are you so loud? You never stop talking. Why are you so dramatic about everything? That kind of thing. So I started learning, that part of me is not okay at home at a very young age. So then in school, I could let that part of me shine. Well, then it didn't take very long for me to learn in school that, no, there's no place for that here either.
I gotcha.
Teachers, I started hearing the same things. And a party person will often, everybody, kids are mean, but you're so weird. You're so weird. You're so weird, because I was very creative, very imaginative.
Sure.
So over time, you kind of just learn to adapt, I guess. And then, raising my kids the way that I did, homeschooling for 24 years. And when you have a household that's running that is that large, I had to implement systems to keep from drowning. And what I found is my brain actually works really well on systems, and thank goodness, because now, I make a living mostly due to systems.
Yeah.
And so, and I can create systems, and I've created systems. And, if your business feels a little chaotic, let's talk, because my entire life I've spent developing systems for everything.
Sure.
So that's something, that kind of, I guess, modified my nature.
I gotcha.
If you will.
I gotcha. And I hate that. I hate it that was part of your story. You know what I mean?
Well,
why are you so dramatic? My mom was like, ooh, why are you so dramatic? You know what I mean? Same words, different feeling entirely.
Yes.
Ooh, do you want to put on a play? You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing my mom would say to me when I was being dramatic.
Yeah. And the overwhelming undercurrent, the unspoken expectation of my life was quiet down. And that went, that fed into my adulthood as well. And we don't need to get into
You're a lot
that.
like my mother, and here's what I mean by that. When she was a kid, on all of her report cards is, Mary loves to talk and put on a show.
Same.
You know what I mean? You're a lot like my mom, and I feel like her parents raised her similarly to the way your parents raised you. My grandfather, though, was kind of lighthearted, a little like your dad, actually. And he was in secret supporting my mother's creativity and, fun sense of humor, while grandma was very straight-laced and let's keep it calm here. Let's be appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I hear you tell these stories and I think they sound very similar.
Yeah. So keeping in mind people's personalities when you are living with them.
Yeah.
Working with them, buying gifts for them. Very, very important, right?
Sure.
So if you have a perfect personality, you can get them a gift card for an event if you want to, but it better be way out in the future so they can plan for it.
I gotcha.
Right? It's very rare that I want things sprung on me.
Right.
Right. Hey,
yes.
Hey, surprise. We're now sometimes I do love it. So it's kind of a crapshoot, right? Like you did that. You called me at work one day and said, when you get home, pack a bag. We're going to Bellevue for New Year's Eve.
Right.
Awesome fun. So that worked out great. But there, if I'm under stress or if I'm in a newer environment or if I'm in a, that I don't, nope. I need my routine.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Now for you, I can spring something on you right this minute to walk out the door in 2 minutes and you'll go. That same kind of scenario.
And be super excited.
That same kind of scenario, we could be driving in the car and you'll say, let's go wherever.
Yeah.
Overnight. You won't pack a bag. You won't.
I have on clothes.
You don't even think about it. And I'm like, I have to go through my checklist.
Well, and here's the good news. You carry a toothbrush and toothpaste with you everywhere you go. So no matter what, we'll have clean mouths in the morning.
That's true. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm ready for a racquetball game if one breaks out at any time.
There
I've
you
got
go,
my
'cause
gym
it's in
bag
the
in the
trunk.
car. Yeah.
So another tip to go along with this personality thing, if you're gift giving, right, is to go look at people's social media.
Oh, smart.
Because there's all kinds of clues on there, as to what they're into. I mean, if they've got a Pinterest, that's easy. You look at their Pinterest boards and boom, you're in.
I
right?
gotcha.
But you can get a lot of clues into people, what they like doing, what they like spending their time doing, And so just keep those things in mind. A peace person is thrilled if you make a donation in their name.
I gotcha.
To, an organization that they find important.
Sure.
Anyone that cares for something, right?
Yes.
A party person will love experiences or gift cards. Here's what's interesting about gift cards. Everybody likes a gift card, but what kind it is matters.
Yes.
Right? So the power person, let me just put it this way. Some people will like to have lots of options. Give them a Visa gift card. They can use it however they want.
Right.
Some people, like a party person, want you to know, a party and a peace person, they want you to know what they like. So make them specific. It's more special to them.
Okay.
I say this after giving most of our kids just Visa gift cards for Christmas.
Right.
But I did ask prior to. In fact, here was a question that I asked our kids. Would you rather have a thoughtful gift or cash? Like a Visa gift card.
Right.
So they got to choose. There you go.
Yes.
And,
I would like things, not things to have, but things to do. I would like places to go.
You love
people to see.
experiences.
Absolutely. I love it. I think it's great. Love it.
Yep.
We love it.
Yes, you do. You do. And that fits right in with your party personality.
Right.
And your secondary power personality.
I gotcha. I want to go, see, and do.
And drive us right into the ground.
And I don't need any things.
You waking up exhausted on Monday morning to go to work means you had a great weekend. Me waking up exhausted on Monday morning because I had, did lots of things over the weekend means I'll be sick by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting thinking about the different personalities. And like I said, if you don't remember anything else, the thing to remember is you've got 4 basic personalities: the power, the party, the peace, and the perfect. And those power party people, if that's their dominant or secondary, they're more fast-paced. The peace and perfect people, they're slower paced.
Right.
Power, peace, people-oriented. Nope. Party peace.
Party
I meant
peace.
party
Yep,
peace,
yep.
people-oriented. Power, perfect, task-oriented.
That's
so
exactly right.
If you just remember that, it can help guide you in your gift giving, because you just look at the gift that you're thinking about giving them and go, okay, now wait a minute. Will this work with a slow-paced, task-focused person? Jigsaw puzzle.
I gotcha.
Right?
Yes.
Now, perfect people have a funny little tendency that you should know about if you're gift buying for them. They often have very specific hobbies.
Right. You need to know what that is.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, you get to know people a little bit. I assume if you're buying them a gift for
Right.
Christmas, at least a little bit about them, right?
Right. That's right.
So, anyway.
Like you might get the Lego Death Star for Peter, but you would not get the Lego Death Star for me. No way. Because I'm a party. I'm not a perfect. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't get them for either one of you, but if you're
Well, Peter likes to do Legos with the kids. So if you were going to get him like a puzzle, he'd be more excited if it were 3D and alive.
Here's what's interesting, though, and this is why you can't pigeonhole people.
Okay.
While he is a perfect power personality,
Yes,
this
yes.
is our oldest child, he is a perfect power personality.
And does Legos with the boys all the time.
He does, because he loves them.
Oh, not because he loves it.
So he can get overwhelmed by the details of something if it's not something he's terribly interested in.
I gotcha.
Then it's just pressure.
Right.
Then it's just pressure, and it's stress.
I want to go places and see people. I don't want homework. And to me, a gift like that is homework. And
Something that you have to
no,
put
thank
together.
You. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what, made it rough when the kids were little, having to put together bicycles and all that stuff. Right. And let me tell you, the worst thing I ever did was putting together IKEA furniture. If you think buying me a piece of IKEA furniture is going to be a fun gift, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Everyone hates IKEA furniture. Oh my gosh. And you just hope that there's a perfect personality nearby to help you put it together.
If I were going to do that job, Danielle would be the person I call. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take the Flurgan and put it into the Glucin. The Flurgan goes to the Glucin. Okay, thank you.
Yep, she's a power perfect. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and again, the different circumstances in your life will bring out different parts of your personality, and different things will bubble up to the surface at different times in your life. And, it's kind of an ebb and flow. You've got to think of these as wet cement, not set concrete, and they do change and they do morph. But listen, I'll tell you this, if you can master learning personalities and you're in sales, it's a win-win.
That's exactly right. I got to tell you, I love doing this program with you, Londa, because you always help me look at these business ideas in different ways. when you and I talked about doing the personality profile, and you said that's perfect because it's Christmas time and we can talk about how to give good gifts based on these personalities. It blew my mind. Can't even understand how your mind got there.
The personalities help you do everything better.
There you go. The personalities help you do everything better. This has been The Session with Londa and David. My name's David Austin. We love coming here each and every week with you and my lovely bride, of course, and host of this program, Londa Sherwood Austin. Thank you for helping me out this morning, Londa.
You're very welcome. It's been a pleasure to be here. We'll see you next week.